Tell us what it was like to finally get back in there and get a win after going through that last fight with Joanna.
It was very stressful preparing for this fight. Just whenever you come off a loss, there's a lot of pressure to go back in there and win and, not repeat the same mistakes. So it's a huge relief off my shoulders to go out there and then to get my hand raised.
Yeah, does this one feel kind of like, let's just get this one done, get a fight between that one and start building something else for people to talk about than just that fight with Joanna?
That's exactly it. And honestly, I didn't do a lot of media before this fight. It's kind of hard when, all you have to think about from the past is to regurgitate your losses. I just kind of wanted to stay focused on the task at hand. I took this fight semi-last minute, and I kind of wanted it that way too. Even though I wasn't in the best shape I wanted to be, I just kind of wanted to avoid all the stress of a long camp.
You had gone through shoulder surgery before this fight as well. How rough was it to come back from that, the adversity of just dealing with that loss and then also the injury, trying to come back?
I think coming off injuries are always very hard. I think it's natural for an athlete to just kind of go into a very low in their career, because as athletes, all we do every single day is we train. That's our life. That's our passion. And when we can't do that, you really feel like you don't have a lot to, just to not to live for, but just to go day by day for. So I tore my shoulder in my last fight, so it was a very long layoff for me, not being able to train, and I just wanted to come back and be a better fighter and get past this hump.
Now, for you, you just kind of said that you wanted this to kind of be a short notice fight. I never hear fighters ever say that they want a short notice fight. Can you kind of explain the mentality about that a little bit more?
For me, a short notice fight just kind of meant whenever you have an opponent in mind, it's always that very stressful period. You're thinking about them every single day. Every single day of your camp is focused on that one person. And personally, I get nightmares. I have nightmares almost every single night. I toss and I turn and I stress out about my opponent and my fight. So just, aside from not being in the best shape and not having the preparation I wanted, it was a lot less stressful just kind of to have a couple weeks to prepare and just get back in there.
Someone with a guard like that, where they almost use their legs like hands, is it hard? Did you find anyone to train with like that? Because those are very hard people to find. And did you ever feel like you were in danger of those arms, which are really legs, slipping around you?
I definitely fell in danger in the fight. She has a very good guard. I feel like a lot of women tend to have guards like that. They're very flexible. They're very strong. It's kind of hard to get past them. I had training partners like that, but definitely when you're in there with someone your own size and you guys are both giving it your all, it's pretty difficult.
After 15 months away, what did it feel like in there, getting right back in the Octagon? And was there any rust to shake off at first? I know a lot of fighters say there isn't, but then once you get in there, it's a different story.
I would say there was some rust, just the jitters of, not kind of, even before you step in there, like, how is it going to feel? Did I forget what it felt like to be in there? Did I forget what it felt like to really be hit by somebody in a real life situation? I felt it a little bit, but when you're in there, you don't really have a lot of time to get your footing. You kind of just have to go. If someone attacks you, you got to defend yourself.
You mentioned the nightmares and the stress of it all. Is that something that you've worked with somebody to sort of get through and deal with, or is it just this is what camp is like for me, I'll roll with it?
I think it's something that you just kind of, it's part of it, and I think a lot of fighters, whether they admit it or not, they have those fears, they have that anxiety. I think it's just like your first day of school. You're always going to toss and turn and, what's my outfit going to be like and how's it going to be? I think it's just something that comes with it.
Does it feel worth it to go through that stress and the nightmares and all that? Like, is the payoff good enough?
I'll say when you get your hand raised, it is, because, there's all that, like, whew, it was worth it, and, everything that comes with it. It's definitely like a huge rush. I think anyone who fights is kind of an adrenaline junkie, and when you go out there and you win, it's amazing, and when you lose, it's high highs and it's low lows.
You can't really enjoy the journey, that's kind of some people's theory on life. You got to enjoy the journey, not just the destination. If you're not enjoying the journey, is the whole career worth it? Do you ever think like that?
I think a lot of things that are stressful in life can be amazing too. Even having children. I personally don't have children, but I think when people have kids, it's always that fear. Are they going to be okay? How are they going to do? But you're also super happy. I love training every single day. I love getting better. I love being able to be an influence to young girls and to women and just people in general. It's an amazing feeling, but there's also, you know, positives and negatives, I think, when it comes to everything.
Were you happy with your performance in the fight?
That's hard to say. I think as a fighter, whether you have an amazing performance or so-so, you always want to be better. I worked on a lot of things this fight, and I wish I could have displayed them, you know, a little bit more. But when you come out with the win, it's just kind of like win or lose. You know, there's nothing you can do about it. You just kind of got to improve each fight.
I'm just wondering how you view yourself in the division, because last week Rose won, and afterwards, you know, it's kind of like the sport is, what have you done for me lately? She wins and everyone is saying, you know, including myself, oh, she's the number one contender. But then you stop and think, Carla beat Rose not that long ago. So do you feel like you're being slept on? Should you be the number one contender in this division?
For me, the numbers don't really matter. You can call me the number 20. You can call me the number 1. I just want to go out there and fight. I don't really tend to focus on that too much.
But are you the best person who doesn't have the belt in the division? Like, should you be fighting for the belt next? Should you be fighting the winner of the title fight in July, in your opinion?
I wouldn't say that. I would say that I'll take whoever they throw at me, and I'm a person who believes whatever comes to me comes to me. You know, of course I want to be back at the top, but, you know, I had a loss, and I don't mind earning my way back.
Would it be easier then for you to stay on this short notice thing? If somebody gets hurt, would you be inclined to jump in for that title fight?
That's a tough one. That's a really hard question to answer, because I think especially with such a high-profile fight like that, you don't want to go out there and kind of half-ass it, excuse my language. For something like that, I don't think I would take it last minute.
Now, you did have the shoulder surgery, and you can feel it in training, like, oh, it feels good, and in therapy it feels 100%. Now, putting it to the test, is it 100%?
I would say I didn't notice any problems at all with my shoulder. I treated my physical therapy like I treat my training. I gave it 100%. I was there every single day working hard, and I feel the difference. I feel great. Especially, I mean, I tore my shoulder in my fight that I lost, and I hardly felt it. So, you know, especially I think when the adrenaline's going, it's kind of hard to feel things like that.
Considering the last year and a half or year for you, would you say this is one of the happiest moments of your career, just to come back and win and to erase that memory? Do you feel that way? It's kind of hard to read your body language now and to see how you're really feeling. Is that an accurate description?
I think I don't even know if it's settled in yet, honestly. I'm definitely glad to have moved past my last loss. You know, that was a very hard loss for me. I would say the harder you are, the higher you are, the harder you fall. And, you know, especially with the injury, it was just a very low time in my life. And of course, you know, after something like this, I do feel better. It's emotional, you know, even to think about. But yeah, feel good.
Welcome back. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. Thanks, guys.